Hi everyone, it's Vivi and Marco here. I am back at Nova Scotia. I'm currently in Sydney right now, and the town does look a little bit different. Right now I'm currently in Louisburg, and the lighthouse Louisburg, and it's so sad to see such a beautiful place being devastated by the Hurricane Fiona. I'm gonna show you in a little bit. I wasn't here when it happened. I was in St. John, Newfoundland. So I was very lucky that the storm like literally just slightly missed me. So it was, I think, at level 1, just like pretty strong wind in St. John, but it wasn't like strongly affected. There was a little bit of rain, but the wind gust was still pretty strong there. For some reason, I was actually in Corner Brook, the west side of Newfoundland, but the week before it happened, I just felt like I should go to St. John, even though at that time I didn't feel like I wanted to make such a long drive. For some reason, it just, I don't know, I think it's my inner guidance that led me there. So I felt very lucky to not be affected by the storm, and it literally just skipped me at the edge at the edge of the hurricane. So obviously I am fine, and my van is fine as well, so I am very grateful for that. But I want to do this video to give you some update about my chronic hive situation and the fasting that I have done since last year. But before going to that, I want to show you this place, the devastation that has caused everything that's led by the storm Fiona, and it just mind-blowing to me, the power of the universe, because I was here in spring and it was so beautiful, and now coming back here and seeing on the trees was like literally ripped off the ground and blown away. So let's go for a walk. Michael is excited for the walk already. And let me show you what this place looks like after the hurricane. It's pretty sad actually. I don't know if you remember a video that I posted about this view, one of my favorite view in Nova Scotia here at the lighthouse right there. Do you see that tree? And this is a huge tree, and the root is literally drift off from the ground. So the wind must have been very strong here, and all the trees as well here on this side. So the forest looks pretty destroyed, I think. It doesn't look like what it was before, so it's kind of sad. But you can smell the wood here, the pine wood here, and it actually smells really good. And I think the park was closed yesterday when I came here. I don't know if the hours open is normal, but it was closed yesterday and it's open today. Yeah, so the lighthouse is closed, so you can't drive all the way to the lighthouse anymore. So I just walk in. You can see the road and the trees are pretty much destroyed. It's quite sad, but I guess this part of the region is probably heavily affected because it's on the east side of Cape Breton. I don't use my gimbal, so the video may be shaking a little bit as I walk, so I'm sorry for that. You can see it was a beautiful road and it was very green. That's what it looks like with the destruction. You can smell the pine tree here. It smells so good. And it looks pretty sad, but it smells pretty good. I love the smell of the wood. Guess as I said in the last video that I love citrusy and woody smell. So that's just a glimpse of the destruction after Fiona. Okay, so let's go back to the van because it's raining a little bit now, but that was just a glimpse of what happened after Fiona. I think it's gonna take a while for the park and the forest to restore itself, because it's just pretty sad because this place is so beautiful when I can visit in spring, but now pretty much everything is destroyed. The lighthouse is still good actually. I'm very impressed that the lighthouse stands pretty strong. So yeah, let's go back to the van, and I want to share some update about my hive condition and the benefit of fasting, because it's raining a little bit here too outside. Okay, so the focus of this video is about the update of my fasting and my hive condition that I started last year. So if you haven't watched my video from last year, you can click at this icon, the bar right here or here, I'm not sure in which in where, like there's a notification, a card to watch that video. So last year I did a 6 days fasting to see whether it could help with my chronic hive condition, and I did that because I just got a download in my meditation. I didn't know how fasting could relate to hive, or the treatment of hive, how is everything linked together. I just somehow just got that download, and then I researched it, and then I realized, oh, it actually does help with hive and allergy when you fast, because it clears out your gut. And so I did that, and during the fasting I also realized that my skin wasn't as itchy. Just only during that period of fasting for the whole week, I didn't take any antihistamine. Back then I had to take antihistamine every other day or every 2 days. My hive started in 2019, and ever since I had to take antihistamine every single day. Back then I took cetirizine, but until 2021, I started to take it every other day after doing acupuncture for a couple months. And then I realized that there's many different types of antihistamines, so I was trying out different varieties, and I realized that loratadine works better for me than the cetirizine, because when I take loratadine, it's kind of stretched out my condition, and I didn't have to take it every single day. With cetirizine, I had to take it every single day. With loratadine, I can take it every other day or every 2 days, and that's also helps because of the acupuncture. So that was basically what I said in my video last year up to 2021. But now in 2022, after a year and a half of fasting and monitor my condition. So in 2022 was when I started my fasting, right? And I saw my benefit of that along with some other things that I do as well. So I continue since last summer. I continue my fasting. I started after the 6 days. I stopped for about a month or 2 months without fasting, and then because I wanted to continue and see how it can help my condition, I fasted 2 days in a month. Then I realized I did that for several months until October or November last year. Then I realized it was a little bit too difficult for me to keep up and remember exactly when to fast when I do it 2 days within a month. So I changed it to fast 1 day in a week, because I find that 2 days is a little bit difficult, because normally after 1 day is already difficult to keep up with, and I feel, because I feel really, really hungry. I would just wanted to kind of push myself, because I know like after 2 days and getting to the third day I feel a lot more comfortable. So I just wanted to push myself out of that comfort zone. 'Cause 2 days I feel like I could control myself. Maybe I was a little bit ambitious to do it 2 days on a roll. Then I find that maybe a little bit too hard for me to keep up with, because it was very uncomfortable and I didn't feel like I could make it like a lifestyle or a routine that I can regularly do and keep up with throughout my lifetime. So I had to find that comfort zone. So again, here we always need to find a balance in what works for us, our body and our mind. So 2 days was difficult and it was hard for me to remember and to be on track with the schedule. So I figured, well, maybe I should be a little bit easier on myself and not like pushing myself too hard and try to be so ambitious. So I do 1 day a week that I fast 24 hours, and I find that it was a lot easier to do with. And now on top of that, I eat only 2 times a day. So just my natural eating habits is already like intermittent fasting, because that's like in intermittent fasting you eat within 8 hours window and fast for 16 or 18 hours window. Well, now my routine is not exactly in 16 or 18 hours. Normally it's about within 14 to 18 hours. 14 to 18 hour fast, like without eating anything. And I don't even think about it. I don't even think about intermittent fasting. It's just how I naturally eat for the last several years, because I don't want to cook like 3 meals in a day. It's just a little bit too much, especially living in a van, traveling and cooking and cleaning and doing the dishes, like all of that, like 3 meals a day. I feel like 2 meals a day is already difficult, and sometimes for lunch I just go buy something to eat. Now I try to be better with my lunch, and I try to make it in my van and not eating out for lunch. So yeah, my natural habit is already intermittent fasting, and I try to focus more on my food and healthy food as well. So on top of that routine, I fast 1 day a week since last winter until now. So that's from November, now is October. So that's almost 1 year of fasting regularly every week, 1 day every week. So, and I don't make myself so strict about it, because the stricter I am, the more I get uncomfortable, and I feel like I would nag myself, or I just get tired of it and I would stop and I wouldn't do it. So have a schedule and be flexible about your fasting, and don't push yourself too much, because if you do, then you're gonna stop. Don't be so harsh on ourselves. That's what I'm trying to say. So some week, if I miss it, then I make up for it. Like, for instance, before I used to fast every Monday. So if I cannot fast on that Monday, then I will follow up on that Tuesday or Wednesday. Like, I don't beat myself up just because I miss a day of fasting. So I keep my schedule flexible that way and try to be easy on myself, and that's how I was able to keep it consistent for a year. So either I fast finish the dinner. Say if I want to fast on Monday, then I finish eating dinner on Sunday, and the whole Monday I don't eat anything. Or I finish eating lunch on Sunday and not eating anything after 3-4 p.m. and then skip lunch on Monday and start having dinner on Monday. So it is at least 24 to 36 hour fast once a week, on top of that intermittent fasting. And I have to say, the benefits for my hive is pretty miraculous. Like, last year in 2021, when I did that video in July, I was taking antihistamine every other day or every other 2 days. Now I take it every week, or sometimes I can stretch it up to 9 days. And I also realized, and I actually also take homeopathic medicine. So these are the medicine that I take. So you can go to a homeopathic doctor and ask them about your hive condition. So you can or some of these you can actually get on the counter as well. Like this you can also order on Amazon, Apis mellifica. So this prescription was given to me by a healer, but of course you don't have to follow this, because I was just asking him like how I can heal my hive, and he just suggested some of these homeopathic medicine for me to try out, and just take these regularly. yes, this is a lot more expensive than powder drug, but it's a lot more natural. It doesn't have any toxicity, so it's better for your body. And that's what I'm taking regularly, 2 or 3 times a day, every day since last October. So it's been a year actually since I take homeopathic medicine along with fasting. So that's how it was able to stretch my condition, alleviate my itchiness on my skin. So my neck was a little bit red earlier, but it's not as red now. It was a little bit itchy earlier. Like, it doesn't get swollen anymore when I scratch, because as I feel like my condition is a lot better when it started in 2019. Like, I couldn't stop like scratching myself. Like, the itchiness was too much and it feels really hot whenever I scratch. Like, my redness was everywhere on my face and my body, and it started swollen. But now it's just a little bit of redness. Like, everything slowly kind of, I wouldn't say that it dissolved, because nothing really dissolved until like I scratch itself, but the itchiness just slowly just release, and I don't feel it as much. And this itchiness is not like just itchy on your skin, but like internal itchiness. I don't know if that makes sense, or you kind of understand what it's like, because I feel it like under my skin. Like, the itchiness is under my skin, like under the sole of my feet. Like, it's the tingling sensation. So it's not itchy like a bug that bites you and you feel itchy that way. Like, the itchiness like feels in under the skin. So yeah, I don't feel anything now after within 1 week after taking antihistamine, and I'm pretty happy that I kind of slowed down on powder drug and I don't take it as often anymore. And now that I do, I take loratadine, which I find is better for me, for my condition, over cetirizine. Of course, everyone is different. It depends on the kind of allergy that you deal with. So another thing that I noticed is after fasting, I feel like there's a lot of changes in my body. Oh yeah, so this year I also did another 1 week fasting when I moved back into my van as well, which was beginning of May. When I moved back into my van, I did 1 week of fasting, 7 days, not 6 days. Yeah, 7 days of fasting. So I wanted to push myself. Last year I did 6 days. So this year I wanted to do 7 days. See like how far I can push myself and what my limit is. And also because I wanted to make the transition between apartment life to van life a little bit easier, because I didn't want to deal with finding washroom or getting shower or cooking. I wanted that first week of transition. They just kind of just enjoy van life. I didn't want to deal with cooking and cleaning that much after a lot of cleaning in my van before that. So yeah, I did 1 week fasting, and again, it was beneficial, and I see a lot of changes in my body as well. Not just the itchiness, but I feel like my probably my gene, my DNA is outer in some way. That's what it feels like for me. Like, now if I drink a lot of cow milk, I feel like my stool is a lot more loose, and I have more bloating, which it doesn't happen like that before. Before the fasting, like after being on fasting for a long period of time, I feel like my body is clearly changing. I feel like I am lactose intolerant in some way, because I can't drink as much cow milk as before. Any other milk is fine. Which, like, I used to drink a lot of coffee, like several cups a day, and I was fine. But now after fasting, I can't do that anymore. And I'm a lot more sensitive with caffeine after fasting. I feel like my body can't handle caffeine as much, because if I do drink full coffee, espresso, then it would take at least 24 hours for my body to completely release it. So it feels really harsh, and I cannot sleep at night if I drink any caffeine drink. So if I want to drink, even like with black tea, if I drink it just like in the afternoon, I can't sleep. Green tea, I can't sleep. Anything with caffeine, I have to drink it at least before 2 p.m. But definitely with caffeine, I can only drink decaf now. I cannot drink regular coffee anymore. So that's another thing that fasting changes my body. And also my spice tolerance is also a lot lower. If you watched my cooking video last year, you know how much I love spicy food. Like I It's so good. It's flavor around the world. I got almost like so many country in my pot. I love it. Look at how red it is. I add some extra chili oil in here. Spicy and flavorful. I put chili in everything, and I just love chili because I'm Vietnamese and I grew up eating spicy food. So I don't feel the spice on my tongue, but I can feel it in my stomach, because I feel like my mouth and my tongue is already so used to that level of spiciness. So I enjoyed it. So I don't feel like it's as harsh for me to eat. I can eat it, but oh my gosh, it upset my stomach so much after. Like before, like it didn't upset my stomach that much. So now I realize that maybe the hive had something to do with digestion. So maybe my digestive system is not as strong anymore, and the fasting kind of helped me to restore that. And also these homeopathic medicine that I take as well also restore my digestive system. And because of the way I eat and my lifestyle, maybe too much spicy food and too much caffeine is really upset my stomach, and probably that was the reason why it started to hive. I don't know, it could be one theory, who knows. So yeah, I'm more sensitive with spice, more sensitive with caffeine, more sensitive with regular milk, with cow milk. So yeah, it's kind of make me to be lactose intolerant. So I can drink a little bit of it. It's not too severe. I can drink a bit of cow milk, but it just, my body cannot digest it as much anymore. And when I take all of that away, I feel like my hive is slowly better. Besides that, I also take this MSM. So you can see this organic soul food MSM, which is very good for detoxification as well. So that was what I guided to take. But this is for general health benefit. It's not just for the hive, but it is also beneficial as well for you'll have your digestive system, because it's linked to detoxification. So I think that my lifestyle back then was not healthy for my digestion, because like I said, I eat too much spicy food and coffee. Okay, so something else I also want to mention about what upset my digestion is, this is something I recently just found out about 2 months ago. So it's the gum, which is like a natural biter. So I use this coconut milk powder. In my last video, you probably see me like use a lot of coconut milk in a can, and those coconut milk in the can, they add gum in it. And also in the oat milk, there's also gum, like locust gum and guar gum. Yeah, locust gum and guar gum is what they normally put in this product. And gum is pretty upsetting for digestion. So the last couple weeks, I just knew this information not so long ago. Someone was telling me that, and I started to pay attention. Then I realized that when I stopped using the oat milk from Silk or Earth Oats, because they use a lot of gum in their product, and I switched to lactose intolerant milk, then miraculously my condition was a lot better. So with those, if I drink like oatmeal every day, I take antihistamine every week. But when I switch to drink lactose intolerant milk, it stretched my, without any gum product, it stretched out my condition to 9 days. So I take antihistamine on the 9th day instead on the 7th day. So I wanted to test that hypothesis because in the coconut milk they use guar gum, and in the oat milk they use locust gum, and I wanted to see like the difference. So which one affects me, and if I stop using these products and one at a time, then how it would affect my condition. So when I take both of these products out, I don't use them anymore, which means there's no gum consumption, then I was able to take antihistamine on the day 9 or even day 10. So that means gum really upset my digestion, I think. Then when I take the coconut milk out, that means there's no guar gum, and I just use the oat milk, then it pushed me back to 7 days. So I think the locust gum is pretty harmful for my digestion. I didn't go back to try the I could just use the coconut milk in a can and just use it with lactose intolerant milk and see how it would affect my body. But I come to realize that products in a can can be pretty toxic as well. It just because of the container itself, probably in aluminum. I'm being more mindful about packaging now and not using this product as much, so I don't use coconut milk in a can anymore, or oat milk anymore for that reason. Even though you see it in my last video, I use these products, but now I don't drink oat milk anymore because of the gum that they put in it. And I didn't want to try the coconut milk in a can anymore, because of the packaging and the guar gum that they put in it. However, I did pick up this one. I tried this one. It's the coconut milk powder as a substitute, because I love coconut milk, and see that there's nothing wrong with using the coconut milk as a creamer, because I love creamy drink. I love creamy drink. However, they use Arabic gum. They use Arabic gum. I have never tried this before, and I looked up information of oops. It wasn't tied so closely. I just spilled some powder on my feet. I never used Arabic gum before, and I looked up information online to see if there's any harmful effects from Arabic gum, and it seemed to be very natural. There's not a lot of things that can be harmful, but gum in nature can be hard for digestion. So I have started using this for about a week now, and today is up to 7 days since I started taking my antihistamine last week, and today is Thursday. So I guess that's why I feel a little bit of itchiness on my neck, but it's not too intense. So the effect is not as strong on me as guar gum or locust gum. So I'm gonna continue to try the product and monitor and see how my body feels with gum product, and see how it affects my digestion. So overall, after 1 week of using this, I'll see, and I'm using it with cow milk. Right now I'm drinking grass-fed cow milk. It's not lactose intolerant, so I'm switching things up a little bit and see how my body feels, how my body changes, because I'm still trying to understand how my body reacts to certain things right now, because I feel like there's a lot of changes in my body lately. So I'm using this with regular milk, grass-fed milk, and with this product, and I find that grass-fed milk upset my stomach, a little bit bloating, and loose stool. So lactose intolerant milk is better for me still, but it doesn't really affect my hive. But the gum, the Acacia rum, Arabic gum, may be a little bit more gentle on my body compared to the locust gum and the guar gum in other products. That's what I think, but I see how it's continued to affect me, because I just started using this for only 1 week. It could get worse over time the longer I use it. So if it gets worse, then I will stop using it, and I think this packaging is a little bit better than the can. Overall, that is my experience and my journey with healing my hive condition so far, and I think that I have made a lot of progress, and I will continue to monitor myself and see how it goes. So hopefully this video gives you some ideas. If you do have chronic hives, it may give you some ideas like where to start. Overall, I find that fasting is definitely the #1 key that helps me with my hive the most, along with everything else I do. And I think secondly with homeopathic medicine, and some of them you may not be able to take it online. Of course, you would have to go and talk to a doctor or a healer before taking this medicine, but you can order these online on Amazon as well. So, or you can just research different condition, or you can just go to a natural health store and ask them which homeopathic medicine is recommendable to you, and you can try it out. Different type, different varieties. I'm taking 7 different types all at the same time, but you can try out one at a time and see what works for you basically. And all of these are for itchy skin, psoriasis, I think, for skin condition. All of this medicine is for skin condition. And yeah, they can be ordered online on Amazon. That's why I normally get them. 4 of them can be ordered online, not all of them. So research for yourself, and I think the safest way to start is probably with fasting. Either you can do intermittent fasting as a start, or try it like me, 1 day fast in a week, and see whether it's beneficial. It can help to relieve with itchiness with your skin. I do think that fasting in general is healthy for your body, unless if you have diabetes, you're pregnant, and you have some other condition that may interfere with fasting, then don't try it. But if you can, I highly recommend you to integrate fasting into your lifestyle and your routine, and it does really it is very beneficial for the hives. And I find it is very fascinating how it stretches out my condition with hive, and I feel so much better about my skin. And yeah, that's my journey so far. So I hope that it is helpful, and if you have any questions about my hives and other routines that I do to monitor this illness, this condition, you can just put your questions in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. So until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys. Hey guys, did you check out my book yet? It's now available on Amazon and Lulu. You can also find out more information on my website, livingthroughalchemy.com. And if you enjoyed the book, please leave me a review. Thank you so much. Bye.